There's a good reason why architects and engineers are typically not the party that a project owner or real estate developer would want to ask for assistance to prepare a cost estimate. And that's because contractors tend to have their finger on the pulse of commodity prices to a much greater extent than a design professional. This is one of those blinding flash of the obvious issues that wouldn't be immediately apparent to somebody, but when you stop and you think about it, it's pretty intuitive, right? Because contractors are always guaranteeing price. Contractors are always working with subcontractors and trade contractors and material suppliers, and they're procuring all manner of things, from labor to steel to concrete to equipment. And from day to day and week to week and month to month and certainly year to year, these commodity prices change. And it is contractors and builders' job, particularly those that are guaranteeing a price, whether it's a stipulated sum or they're building up to a guaranteed maximum price. It is their job to know how much construction services cost these days. And so when you are a real estate owner or a real estate developer and you're engaged in a project and you want to know how much an architect's or engineer's design is going to cost, there's some good reasons to expect the design professional to have some inkling of what those costs would be, using conceptual estimating notions like cost per square foot, or things of that nature, but those are really more darts thrown against the wall. And it's not because the architect or the engineer is doing anything wrong. It's because architects and engineers don't buy equipment. They don't buy steel. They don't buy concrete. They don't buy labor. That's not what they do. That's not their function. And so if you are a project owner or a real estate developer, is there some time where it would make sense for you to ask a design professional to speak up on issues of cost estimates? Sure, I suppose that there are some circumstances where you might want the design professional to speak up. But if you want to get a really good understanding of what your project is going to cost you, you got to go to somebody other than an architect or an engineer. Whether it's a cost estimator that you hire or whether it's a contractor or a construction manager, if you are the owner of a project, you no more want to go to an architect or an engineer and ask him to give you a firm cost estimate than you want to go to a dentist if you've got a knee that's hurt or something like that. It's just the wrong professional to ask. And so if you're an architect or an engineer, your instinct contractually should be to back away from an obligation to give an owner or a real estate developer really specific pricing as the design develops. And if you are a project owner or developer who wants to have any understanding about what your project is really going to cost, your instinct should be to go to a professional that has their finger on the pulse of commodity prices for that moment, and make sure that you've got somebody who has the ability to give you a reasonably accurate price estimate to price the cost of the design.